it's time for me to open up and just be honest. I am a watch addict, and I am likely to buy any watch that's put in front of me.
How many watches have you tried on this week, Pete?
I'm around 30.
30 watches.
You shouldn't laugh. It's kind of like shaming me, but, you know, we've all been there, I'd like to say.
You've been trying on so many watches. Watchya Watching.
I'd love to share with you.
What are you watching?
AJ, I have a thing for Tudor.
I think we've both got a bit of a hard-on for Tudor, to be honest.
Right. It started with the Black Bay Bronze.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, I just love this watch. I went through times where I'm not swapping my watches often enough.
Well, was the Black Bay Bronze your first, your entry to Tudor? Not your, I know it's the first one you bought, but was it like that was the thing that was like, oh, this is Tudor? Or was there something else that was like...
No. So the first love of Tudor was friend and viewer named Rob introduced me to the Black Bay.
Yeah, okay.
But it was too small.
Yeah.
I couldn't even try it on because his bracelet was too small, but I sized it on my wrist by kind of folding the bracelet over and going, I just don't think I can make that work.
I think he had the 58, didn't he? Black Bay 58.
Yeah, Black Bay 58. So that's what, 39 mil. And it just didn't look great for me, but I loved the look. What I've been watching kind of changes the game a little bit. And it's a bizarre one because it's 41 mil.
Okay. I distinctly remember it. There was a watch rule made by someone, you.
Yeah.
And you said, I can't go below 43.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the Black Bay Bronze is 43 and it looks amazing. It feels amazing. This U-boat is 47.
Yes.
Right. So 47 mil across the case. Beautiful. A 43, that looks great. A 41, what am I thinking? Maybe it's too small. I need to go and try these on. I'm talking about the Tudor Royal.
Right. Okay. This is controversial for a few reasons. It's bimetal for one.
Yeah.
I know the one that you're looking at. That's controversial. The other is that it's quite, for you, it's quite a dressy watch.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still a sports watch, but what helps me with this? Well, I've got a Tizzo PRX.
Okay.
If you're a watch addict, you've probably got a Tizzo PRX.
Yeah, everyone
right?
has, yeah.
That integrated case helps it pop to look that little bit bigger than what it actually is.
Fair.
So, and I believe they're a 40, right?
Or 41.
Okay.
But yeah.
So here I find myself shopping. Now, the first shopping trip, I'm in Truro, right? Not too far.
Yeah.
The wife wants to go shopping. We're shopping.
Boring.
What do I think?
Watches.
I'll come with you. Watch shopping.
Yes.
I go into the AD. Can I say the AD?
No.
Right. I go to an AD.
Go into Michael Spires. I was expecting you to just listen to me.
And I'm at Michael Spires. Now, those guys are awesome because they're our local big boy brands.
Yeah.
The boutique for Rolex, the boutique for Patek Philippe, the boutique for Tudor, right? Just to name some. And I go in there. They're amazing. Sit down, have a coffee. The wife's shopping, right? Later on, she busts me, sat down, trying on watches, coffee, biscuits. She comes.
It is the drug equivalent of finding you in the crack den, isn't it?
Yeah.
Busted.
And literally, me and my friend serving me pause to look.
You're in trouble.
We've been caught red-handed, haven't we? And I'm like, it's okay. Do you want a coffee? Anyway, I've digressed.
Did you slide your thumb over the price tag? You know, the tag swinging off it just like...
I did try and get her to wear a watch.
Oh, you're trying to appease your guilt by spending it on her.
So the wife is not a watch addict. No, she likes Apple Watches.
Divorce.
Yeah, she's not even allowed in our watch
addicts group. I'm surprised they
group.
let her into Michael Spires, to be honest.
Yeah.
With an Apple Watch on.
Yeah, because obviously you've got to wait for entry.
Yeah.
And normally the code is pull back your sleeve.
So it's like getting into the Freemasons.
It's like the Freemasons, yeah. So roll back your sleeve. Yeah. Okay, you can come in. She didn't. She was with me. They let her in. So I'm trying on. And I just say to the guy, look, I got this thing. I'm not sure if it's going to work for me. I wouldn't mind trying a Royal. I get it out. This thing of beauty. Now, the one I tried on was the chocolate dial. But there's a couple that I like. I like the black face and I like the chocolate dial.
Right, so the chocolate dial, that's a really weird one. Because I can understand the black face.
Yeah.
It's very masculine and contrasty. The chocolate dial with the bimetal is a little bit more jewelry, a bit more dressy.
Yeah.
It's weirdly, just that subtle colour change makes it an entirely different watch. It's like two watches.
Totally right. Totally right. And I've always felt like that with the champagne faces on like a Rolex.
Yeah.
Is, well, you've just ruled out that watch as just dress watch now, right?
Yeah.
They're my watch rules gone by.
You'll break them at some point.
So what I'm trying to do now is break watch rules. I look at my watch box and I've got the same watch over and over and over again. And I'm trying to change that. And I think, what better way to change it than push myself a little bit out of my comfort zone?
Yeah, okay. And this really does do that.
Yeah. Now, let me give you some of the basics. So you can see from what we're looking at here, you've got a notched bezel. Now, that is a 316L stainless steel. I'm looking at the gold version.
Now, I'm a heathen. I've always called that like coin edging.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably really wrong.
It's fine. You can call it. Can
I call it whatever I want?
Yeah, because this isn't an authorized dealer club.
Oh,
no.
Is that why I'm allowed to wear this t-shirt?
Yeah, we're just watch addicts. We're like idiots that spend money on buying these things. So we can do what the hell we want.
Yeah, so I'm really keen to see what that coin edging kind of bezel, that notched bezel, looked like in the flesh. And seeing your pictures and videos that you were giving me live updates from the ADs.
Yeah, I know that probably got annoying at one point.
No, I love it.
But I needed you to know that this thing in the flesh is insane.
It's so much better. It's got way more contouring, almost, like texture than I expected it to have.
Yeah.
Which, again, I've said it loads of times, I love little details. And that little detail meant that each of those edges catch the light and you get this really lovely effect from it.
But honestly, it's more than just that bezel with the notched edge or the coin edging, whatever you want to call it, right? It's more than just that. The way that I thought, first of all, I know it says that they're applied numeral markings, right? But there's not a lot of depth to them.
No.
Until the light hits it in an AD and you wrist roll.
Oh, wow.
And as soon as you start rolling that wrist, they're like popping with light.
I'm such a sucker for that.
Yeah, little details.
Depth.
So they're shallow.
Yeah,
as in they're not like what you get with the normal Tudor markers.
Yeah.
These are
kind of quite stood out.
Yeah, these are shallow. Now there was a surprise there that there is a diamond variant, right? This is the mad thing. This Royal range has something like 70 variants. By the time you choose the color, which is like salmon, silver, chocolate, black, right? It goes on, blue.
Yeah.
And then you've got like this sunburst dial,
Yeah.
right? Which catches beautifully as you wrist roll. But beyond that, you've got the Arabic markings, or you've got the diamond markings. Then you've got silver case and integrated bracelet, or you've got the gold, right? So you've got the bimetal. The options are crazy. There's tons. So I've narrowed it down into two that I really love. And bimetal is where I'm at because in the flesh, it is just something special.
Okay, so there's a really, really good point to make there. Did you try on the straight up, just the steel version?
Yeah. So I tried up a straight up steel with a black. Right.
What, in your preference then, actually still led to the bimetal?
Yeah.
That's really interesting to know.
I think it's something... There's something special about it that for me just pops. Now,
it does.
I'd love it to be the just stainless version because what happens then? It's a lot cheaper. I walk out of here today a lot happier.
Yeah.
Don't have to save so much to one side.
Yeah, that's fair.
And but yeah, so for me, it's that. Now, a lot of people will go, oh, but the Rolex Daytona, the stainless version went right up above retail price versus a bimetal or a gold.
As a watch addict, I'm not necessarily that worried about the aftermarket value.
Buy what you love. Yeah?
Buy what you love.
Buy what you love. So I'm there, buy what I love. I spent my time at the ADs looking, right, Michael Spies were great. They got me a Pelagos FXD out.
Nice.
I had a look at that.
Yeah.
I had a look at the Black Bay.
Yeah.
And I had a look at a couple of the Royals. This was before Watches and Wonders, right?
Ooh.
So at that point, we were chatting about the rumours for the Land Dweller and me telling them about my love for this. And if the Land Dweller happened, wouldn't that be crazy? Anyway, this is now what we can say today is the sort of OG Land Dweller.
Yeah.
You know, this was out before.
It almost kind of confirms some of the anecdotal parts about Tudor was that it's the testing ground for Rolex, as in they'll test slightly wild things or a bit more edgy things with Tudor, colours, case designs. And then the ones that work, then they'll release in the Rolex lineup.
Let me give you a little bit more about this because you've got sapphire crystal.
Yeah, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got waterproofing down to 100 meters. You've got that integrated bracelet. Now I'm looking at the bimetal. So you've got yellow gold and you've got stainless steel 316L. You've got that folding clasp and a safety catch on it. But the important part, the bit that most people are interested in, is what caliber movement does it have? Well, it has a T603 for the Solita 240. Now that is COSC certified.
That's the bit that really stunned me. COSC certification on it. So the Solita SW240 is the SW200 with the day
day complication. So you'll notice at the top of the dial there, you'll see that it's basically rotating around. When it hits midnight thereabouts, you're going to get the change of the day.
Yeah, lovely.
So it's just a little addition. You know, if you're an OP fan or a Date Just fan, a DJ fan, this sort of thing's got to be within your comfort zone. The power reserve on it is 38 hours.
So that's a very Solita thing, isn't it? Quite a short power reserve.
Yeah.
But that's why this watch sits at the price point it does. It's not like if you're buying a bimetal Tudor that had one of their chronometer certified movements in it, you know it would be over $5,000.
Yeah.
Because it's bimetal, it's got gold in it.
Well, let me give you the nuts thing. The one that I love is 3,580, but I told you there's about 70 variables in total because it starts at a very, very small watch. There's loads of different sizes, there's colours, and then there's silver or bimetal, right? £2,070 all the way up to £4,980. So that is the kind of class you're dealing with.
It's a variance of size, of material, if it's the diamond one or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, it doesn't strike me as a crazy price for what is essentially a gold and steel watch.
Do you know, the interesting thing that I take away from that is Tudor as a brand fluctuate in that price point.
Yeah.
And just this one range shows the whole offering.
Yeah, it really does. Looking at the numbers here while you've got the notes in front of you, case thickness 10.6 mil. That's really thin.
Yeah.
How did that feel on wrist? That depth.
It is noticeably different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like my only experience of Tudor really is the Black Bays, and they're all chunky.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not even fair.
It's like the polar opposite. Of that.
So the U-boat.
Yeah.
Right. This is an absolute beast.
It's a beast.
It's a total different ball game to that. It's very slender.
Mate.
This here, it catches my shirt.
Yeah.
Right. The other one will just slide underneath.
What's really lovely with you,
the shirt gets caught back.
Yeah.
Versus one that just slivers under.
What's really lovely with you looking at this watch in particular, it being such a dressy watch. I'm just going to say it is a dress watch. Just to wind you up.
Well, it's a sports watch.
It's just that dressy watch with a sports bracelet.
Dressy sports watch.
Is that if when you get it, when you do finally break,
this is happening.
That sat in your watch box next to that U-boat is like the most diverse range I think that could exist.
Yeah, I'd agree. But that's kind of what I'm all about. There's a story arc of my love of watches, and do you know, you could say I'm a bit of a chameleon, as in I fit into loads of different social circles, but I don't really care which watch I'm wearing for them.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I could wear my U-boat with a suit and I'm happy with it. That's all that matters.
Would you... It's a bit of a silly question to ask because they're not in the same ballpark at all, but they're very similar styled watches. Are you going to keep your PRX after you buy the Tudor Royal? Because I imagine, right, if they're sat next to each other, integrated bracelets, thin...
Would you ever
watch,
wear the PRX again?
Why are you ever going to wear the PRX again? And would you sell it to me for a bargain price?
Right, so...
Remember the rules. If I'm here to buy the watches that don't get you home.
Yeah. If I had to sell it,
Yeah.
if I'm ever at the point where, I'm going to be facing life in a tent,
Oh,
it has to go,
Oh.
then it would go. If not, I'm quite happy
In a
with the whole
tent.
story thing,
Right.
We went down to the ADs, we went looking at
It was
watches.
nice. Yeah.
We ended up walking out
We
with a
didn't go
watch.
to look at watches. We went down to the AD to get a link for your tag. I think
Oh,
it was.
yes, we did, yeah.
And
And
we
look
ended
at
up
watches.
we ended up buying watches.
Yeah, which is always the danger.
If we go to the jewelers together, it's game
Yeah,
over.
Yeah. I always say, if you hang out in a hairdresser's long enough, you'll end up with a haircut.
Yeah.
And it's the same. You go to like Michael Spires or whatever your local equivalent is of an authorised dealer.
Yeah.
You're going to end up buying something.
So back to the Royal.
Yeah.
I want to push on the thickness thing a bit more. So I know that I've got into quite light watches, some like the Norcane, the Tudor ceramic, and you're kind of a bit more on the fence with that thing. You're a bit more kind of like, I'm not sure if I like the light watch thing yet.
Yeah. I
can imagine this is quite light, being thin.
It's pushing me.
Yeah, it's like, how are you reacting to that?
Yeah. It's a tricky one to talk about, really, because
I love this part of the journey. It's sort of like pushing yourself and stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
I even tried on a titanium case the other day.
Yes. Still not sure. It's weird, isn't it? It is weird.
I'm doing stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I want to go into having a smaller watch.
Are you more adventurous with watches than you are with food? Because I'm really not adventurous with food at all, but watches, I'm like, let me try it. Oh, yes, try
do
this.
you know, here's the thing. If I can buy a watch at the right price, I don't mind having it. Because, well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll just try it.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll move it on.
Yeah.
But I'm not really somebody that
Have
likes
you moved any on yet?
I've never sold a watch.
That's the best bit.
But I will if I need to. Like I say, if I face life in a tent,
Yeah.
and I have to sell a watch, then I'll sell a watch.
One thing I've noticed that's happened very recently, and I won't name them because it's unfair to, is your son.
Yeah.
You've managed to finally, after years of attrition, grind down your son enough to finally ask to wear a watch.
Yeah.
So I foresee a future not too far away in which the watches you don't want to wear anymore, you're going to give to him. So now your justification is, I won't sell them.
But
my son can
I've hardly got any watches now because he's taken all of them.
Because you already started talking about a certain watch that we both regretted buying.
Yeah, there's definitely a surprise watch, brand new in the box with a receipt in the box.
I'm just gonna say it's the Moon Swatch.
Right. And it's sat there, and my whole thing was, I'm never gonna wear that. That's my hope if I can get him into watches.
Yeah.
If I can't get him into watches, then it's probably a watch that I would sell.
Yeah.
Because there's a few quid tied up in a watch that I'm never going to wear. But I wanted to own one.
Yeah, I wanted the Moon Swatch. I wanted to own one. The viewer named Matt told us it was a terrible idea. We bought it anyway, and he was right. Unfortunately,
it was a terrible idea.
It was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I sold mine straight away for more than I bought it for.
Yeah,
which I thought was an amazing one.
Here's the thing. One of the things I love about that whole Moonswatch thing is the strap, right? But for me, I couldn't even get the strap on.
No,
there's not enough to fold over and kind of.
Oh, you have that problem with N-word straps in general, don't you?
Yeah.
You can't get it to fold up down again.
I call it a field strap, right?
Yeah.
So it's
not a NATO strap anymore, is it?
It's just not down enough.
Yeah, and they only look good when you get the fold over because it adds that heft.
Yeah, I really wanted to love it. I just can't think of anything that makes me excited to put it out of the box and put it on.
So I foresee You'll get him to wear the Moonswatch.
Yeah.
You'll buy the Tudor Royal. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Because, you've said it out loud now.
Yeah.
You'll look at it next to the PRX in your case and go, do you know what? My son might really like that PRX.
I think he would.
Yeah,
like
let's give it to my son.
Yeah.
There you go. Off he goes.
Yeah. He's maybe a bit too young now to enjoy an integrated strap. I don't know. So, but here's the beautiful thing. In my head, I played out, and this is watch stories that I love, because every watch should have a little story attached. Even if it was just like me and my stupid mate went down and we bought some watches.
Am I the stupid one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're there to pick up a link for your tag, and now we've bought a watch. Oh well.
Yeah.
Right. But I love the watch for that. It reminds me of those moments. That's the beautiful thing. Where were you when? How many years ago? All of that. With this one, I haven't got a story attached to it yet. The story will come, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But with passing watches down, I love that. My thinking of my son having a Swatch fits in with me having my Pops watch. Right, so
you've already created a justified story.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there's a backstory to moving watches on.
Yeah.
Then watches are gone. Then I need to replace watches.
Yeah.
And this is a safe place to talk about it.
This is a safe place. We listen and we don't judge. I don't like the Tudor Royal for me, but when I saw it on your wrist, I was like, that looks amazing. So
there's so many good watches to buy.
I'm
so
really conflicted by this as a Watchya Watching, because on paper I don't like it, but yet, like I said, when I saw your photos and your videos from you trying, I'm like, it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I feel really torn.
So even if I've said I'm not married to the idea,
it's gorgeous
of bimetal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I
quite like the same
gold.
with the color of the dial. I may go for chocolate. I may go for black. I've pretty much narrowed it down to those two. Right. I did try on the blue. Look, I'll be honest, AJ. I've kind of hidden some truths from you. I've been into 4 different dealers. I've tried this watch on many times. I've tried on all the colors. I've even tried on the diamond variant, which isn't something that I'd feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Right. But I've done that in order to try and narrow down, am I doing the right thing here?
Okay. And that was my point, is that it's been, as a bystander, it's been a really interesting journey to watch you stalking this watch. And actually it grind me down a bit to the point of going, yeah, I think you are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful watch. It's not to my taste, but I can see that it's a beautiful watch.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you're going to buy one, please buy the black dial, because it's the only one that I might wear.
Yeah.
So in the future,
if anything happened,
if you were to fall down the stairs by accident with a little push, then I could by accident, if you had a little accident.
Yeah, I know. I follow that you would then
I would benefit from this accident. I know where all your watches are kept.
Yeah.
I would get to them first. And then when they come to doing your will, they're going, where are his watches? I'll go, oh, it's just this one, and it's just the Pops watch. That's all that's left.
The Pops watch is the only.
That's all. Yeah. He was actually a bit, and he thought, he imagined.
He used to make up a lot of stuff.
Or I'll go to H. Samuel's down the road, buy a load of cheap crap.
Replacement ones.
Just fill the box up.
Yeah. No, that's a good
Where are
idea.
his watches? Here they are, citizens.
Yeah. So I will update a document and put it in the safe. True. And it would just be this episode of the show.
Don't trust AJ.
Don't trust AJ. Reference YouTube this video.
I think it's very sensible advice for everyone, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it's my latest love. It's very wide varied. I've talked about in a recent episode a Chopard.
Yeah.
Right. And very, very different watch, but I do jump around a lot. And this one, 41, but yet beautiful.
I think if you're going to be a collector and have multiple watches, I think your box should be a varied journey.
Yeah.
I think you should have something that's a bit more dressy and stand out, and then something that's sporty.
Here's the thing. If I can disclose another truth, I'll probably end up with 5 Tudors.
5?
Yeah.
Have you already highlighted what they are?
Yeah, the 58.
68.
The 68, sorry. The 68,
nice.
not the small one, the new 43 mil.
Yeah.
68. The FXD.
Yeah.
Pelagos.
Yeah.
Pelagos.
Pelagos. All of them.
I
I say Pelagos, but I think it's Pelagos.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been into ADs and they've said it different in each one.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
okay. But I really like that, the Marine Nationale
it's nice.
field strap that they put on it. And I even refuse to say the N-word in there. It's the field strap, Marine Nationale.
And N-words banned.
Right. So there's that. The 1926.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so in my head, and I know I'm probably wrong, the 1926 and the Royal sit right next to each other as very similar offerings.
Yeah.
I know they look different, but they've both got that delicate, bit more dressy kind of feel to them.
Yeah. And I can justify that. It'll be the white. Because
of the waffle dial thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yeah,
but
it's
then
nice.
I'm also kind of obsessed with the Pro. So the Tudor,
GMT.
Yeah, the Tudor Black Bay Pro. Now, 2025 version is the white dial.
Yeah, opaline.
I'm not too fussed. I don't know where I'll go yet. It depends on what color I get in any of the others. So
Personally, I think the black dial is nicer because you get a lovely contrast between that, the yellow GMT hand, and the 24-hour bezel.
Yeah,
for me.
As you saw from recent messages, I've tried them all on.
Yes, I was very jealous of your trip.
And I'm just like, I'm on a Tudor deep dive right now.
So
I need to step back.
You said you're going to have 5, right?
Yeah.
So far, I'm just going to point out, you've highlighted 4.
Yeah.
You've already got 1, and I know of 2 others that you like.
Okay.
One of them being this.
Yeah. And I'm obsessed with the gold silver chrono. So
yes,
which
we talked about in the previous episode how you
I've had issues with
missed an open goal to get one for less than half of what it's worth.
Yeah.
And you've got the bronze. So that's 7 Tudors.
Okay.
You going to have 7 Tudors? Do you know what? There's a beautiful world in which you exist that have 7 Tudors in it.
They're the pin-ups at the minute.
Right.
Maybe I'll reevaluate along the journey. But in my head, I was going, Sea Dweller is the goal, right?
Yeah, Rolex, yeah.
However, I'm now on a bit of a Tudor problem.
I've got a real Tudor problem. I've really fallen in love with Tudor.
Yeah.
Totally with you. And what a beautiful universe to exist in which you could have 7 and they're all quite different.
That's 100% it. They're totally... Each range represents a very different type of wrist experience.
And I think for the position most people are in that are into watches, if you've got loads of money, you're not buying Tudor anyway. Let's just be honest. Like mega money, you're probably not buying Tudor. For most normal people like us and for the watch addicts watching this, most more normal collectors, Tudor's an obtainable but an expensive watch.
Yeah, sure.
So... But it's obtainable enough that you could have multiple of them over time and they all feel like special achievements.
Yeah.
It's not a Seiko that you're buying that you could just get, you could buy one every month. Something special's happening.
The one thing that worries me with this particular model is that it might be too, look at me.
It is loud.
Yeah.
It catches the light a lot.
On the wrist, it's got a lot of presence.
But then so does the bimetal chronograph that you liked.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know why we should apologise. We put off doing this support group for years because I was embarrassed about spending so much money on watches.
I know. You're bashful about it. Like, I don't want to show off.
So I think, yeah... No, I shouldn't be
lean
embarrassed
into
about it. Yeah, go with it. It's the thing that I really love.
The only rule that I hold on to dearly is buy the watch you love. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the resale value. Don't worry about what other people think. Do you like bimetal but no one else does? Should I be embarrassed that it's a Hublot? Stop caring. Buy the watch you love. If it's loud and you love loud, buy it, wear it, and if I see you, I will celebrate it with you.
Yeah, totally. And I love that attitude. You know, this is the really interesting thing. The Royal range for Tudor has been a bit of a big flop.
I think
it didn't go massively well.
The Solita thing, I think did put off some of the enthusiasts.
Yeah,
It was
totally.
like, oh, what? But it's not. It's a Sellita base, and they've done Tudor stuff to it.
Yeah, and you could say that it's not a Sellita base; it's an ETA base because
Exactly
a clone of a clone of a. Here we are.
And I hear that argument thrown at so many different brands. Oh, it's only an ETA in there. It's nothing special. Like, if you're going to base the value of the watch off its constituent parts, then every single watch in existence is a rip-off.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not how you value them. It's not the constituent parts inside it. Because why is a bimetal Daytona worth less than the stainless steel one?
Yeah, it's where things get really fancy and you start talking about, well, an in-house movement is the best movement. If it's not an in-house movement, it's crap.
Not necessarily, though.
It's really not.
Not necessarily,
That is stupid watch group conversations.
Yeah.
Right, so if you're having conversations like that in your personal life, you need to hit subscribe at this point.
Yes.
Because you need to get more grounded
Yeah.
with your watch addiction. You're in a safe place.
Remember, whatever watch you love, we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah.
Unless it's an Apple Watch. And then we definitely judge.
I've apologised for it and I try not to wear it on my left wrist
And also,
anymore.
it's okay to make mistakes with watches because there's always someone else that will love the thing that you no longer love as well. You'll always be able to sell them.
Yeah.
So you can make mistakes and it's fine. I've made plenty.
To you, I know where you're heading, but I always say, buy the watch you love because it will always get you home. So make sure it's a good one. And if you're subscribed, you'll see plenty more videos like this. Welcome to the support.